Hello, Upper East Siders. There comes a time in a young girl's life where she has to tell the truth about something that has been with her for about 2.5 years. And that's right, guys. Today we are reviewing / going over what I thought about Gossip Girl. And yes, it did take me 2.5 years to finish it. And these are my honest thoughts. We're gonna go over what season was my favorite of the 6 seasons, my favorite characters, and basically like the gist of what happens each season. So first of all, we're gonna start off with the characters of the show. So let me write this out and then we're gonna kind of go over things that happened during this. Okay, so we have those 5. I'm just gonna, now these 5. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, my favorite characters of the show are these 2 right here, Blair and Chuck. They just cause the least amount of problems and they're silly, honestly, and that's why we like them. We love them because they're not problem makers. Now, first of all, in the first season, Blair, right here, she is dating Nate. They are in high school. They're at Constance private school, and she's dating Nate. And then Serena, right here, decides, oh, I actually want Nate. So she goes with Nate. And guess what happens here? This is like most of the seasons this happens, okay? Blair and Serena are no longer besties. Okay? No longer friends. I don't know if you can read that. They're no longer friends. And, you know, if I was in Blair's situation, I would not want to be friends with Serena either, because what do you mean your friend is dating your boyfriend? Are you kidding me? No, absolutely not. So that goes on in that season. But this little fella here, Dan Humphrey from Brooklyn, he wants her. Okay? That's what's happening. He wants her. Does she want him? Not really. Not really, because he's a poor little boy from Brooklyn and she's not going to pay any attention to him. So he tries and tries and tries. And then kind of by the end that season, they're like dating-ish. And you know who really doesn't like it? Blair. Blair's like, why are you dating Dan? Dan is yucky. That's so gross. So that's like first season recap, okay? That's like basically what happens. And then Chuck's there. And Chuck and Blair kind of like are an item, I guess. And honestly, they're my favorite couple of the whole show. That's what happens. Okay, those are my characters. Serena V is what we're gonna call her here. Okay, Serena V. She is played by Blake Lively, okay? We all know what happens with Blake Lively, and so I guess maybe that maybe causes an ill opinion on Serena or Blake Lively in general, because of after watching Gossip Girl, you kind of are like, I hate Serena. She has what we call daddy issues. And I think all of the characters in here do, except for Dan Humphrey. Okay, she has daddy issues. She is always playing the victim card. Her hairdos. Oh my god. And the outfits are atrocious to the next level. And you know, whoever was on the costume design, like, you did a great job, but I don't like it. Her hair always just looked like a rat's nest. I'm not gonna lie. And she moves on from one guy to the next. Here's my characteristics of her. What I'm thinking, okay? This is what we know of her. And she just wants the best for herself, and she's willing to push anyone aside to get what she wants, okay? That's her. Next character we have here is Blair. Blair Waldorf. Her mother, fashion designer, and also she just wants her mom's approval. So loyal also because of everything that happens, but she stays with Chuck the entire time, pretty much. She's in love with Chuck the entire time and will do whatever it takes to be with Chuck. Okay? And we're gonna... Anyways, she is loyal, and maybe that's her downfall. She's just so loyal. But she's also a schemer. And you know what? I love her schemes. They are so funny. They literally, like, crack me up because she's always plotting something in every season. And you're like, go Blair. Go Blair. And I'm, like, rooting for her every time. She's also not afraid to tell the truth. And that ends up hurting her bestie, Serena. Because Serena doesn't want to hear the truth, ever. And it's always someone else's fault with Serena. Always. She's never, ever at fault. Okay, it's Chuck Bass. Chuck B.
Chuck Bass.
Characteristics about Chuck Bass that we need to think about. He also has daddy issues. Who is his mom? That's the underlying theme of Chuck. He is also very loyal to Blair. And he causes no drama. He is a heavy drinker. He has revenge. The revenge is moral. It's like a moral revenge. Like, he's like... There's situations where he's in where he's like, I have to do the right thing in order to make everyone's life better. And he's not doing revenge out of spite. It's not because he hates people. It's because he wants to do the right thing. And people always see it in a bad light because he's like this mysterious Chuck Bass kind of guy. But he's really just a sweetheart down underneath, okay? Chuck Bass. Oh, Dan Humphrey. Doesn't even get an H because he's so gross. From Brooklyn. Writer. What is his whole personality? Also likes pierogies. I don't know how you spell it, so I am sorry if you eat pierogies and I spell it wrong. I'm really sorry. He wants to fit in. All he wants to do is fit in, and that's his flaw. Because everyone tells him, Dan, you cannot fit in. Because you don't belong on the Upper East Side. And he's like, no, I do. And he just keeps trying and trying and trying. And everyone says, no, Dan. He's evil. He is so evil. Don't get me started on Dan. I do not like him. Not much to say about Dan. That's nothing nice, so I won't say it at all. He wants his grandpa's approval. His grandpa is really high government guy, and he just wants to, like, click into that higher society, like, I'm in politics kind of group. Okay, that's what he wants. Next thing he does, he's always older women or younger women. He sleeps with a couple moms. He sleeps with teenagers when he's like 20 something. Like, girl, first of all, ew. And then, like, just be with someone your own age. But no, Nate can't do that. And he does this to advance himself up. Or just, like, get ahead of other people. That's my theory. And I don't know if he's, like, insecure or lonely. He just is always sleeping with someone older. Who else has daddy issues? Archibald, his dad, actually. Fun facts about his dad. His dad was imprisoned for fraud. So his whole family had to... They're not rich anymore after his dad frauded his way through life. So they got taken out. That was like a whole thing in one of the seasons where his dad got arrested and whatever. So that happens. He's just kind of a background character. He's just in the background. He has his own side plot going on while there's like the main plot going on with the main... I would say there's like 3 people that have like the main thing. So Serena, Dan, and Blair, they all have something going on. And Chuck and Nate kind of have something in the background that is going along with the main theme. So it's like their side plots that somehow like correlate into what is going on. So that's good. You have have some really good side characters, and my favorite side character of them all is, you're not gonna believe this one. Well, I have two favorite side characters. So the first one, my favorite side character is Rufus Humphrey. Where's Wiggs? Wiggs. Making waffles. Literally every episode that he's in, he mentions something about a waffle, and that is just so funny. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh my god, you're so silly, Rufus Humphrey. And he is in a band. And he also is very humbling to his son. He's a great dad to his son, and I don't think Dan kind of understands that his dad is actually being so nice to him and his sister. And my second favorite side character of them all is Dorota. She is Blair's maid. Russian, I do believe, or some sort of thing. She's into the schemes as well. She loves Blair and will do anything for Blair. And her husband is the door guy at the Vanderwoodson house. And they have 2 kids together. She's a scheming mom. Let me just tell you. Now, one thing I do want to get into here. So, one thing I do want to point out in this show that I really was very confused about is, so Serena's mom was in love with Dan's dad, right? When they were teenagers, they had this whole thing. And then you kind of find out in the show that they have a secret child. Okay, but that's not it. That's not it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, like, these are like spoilers-ish, but like one thing I just kind of want to get out there. So why I really don't like Serena and Dan, and they keep ending up together. So Serena's mom and Rufus end up getting back together after all these years of like being apart. They got back together, they rekindled their thing, they got married. Okay, no biggie, right? Yeah, it's a biggie because you know why? Serena, this little girl Serena, and Dan, they're in love. And guess what? They're dating, or they dated. No, they do date. So in like the second season, Dan and Serena are dating, which is like cool and all. Rufus and Lily, who's Serena's mom, end up getting married. Okay? And then they want to date each other again? Hello? That's disgusting. You're dating your stepsister. I'm so gross. And like, morally, that's not okay. Like, if your parents are married, like, you shouldn't be dating each other. I'm sorry. Okay? And then we have other things that are happening in this. So Serena has a brother named Eric, and Dan has a sister, Jenny. So Eric and Jenny are the siblings, right? They're side characters, and then randomly they just get thrown out. Like, bye, bye. You don't know what happens to them. Like, are they okay? I don't know. Like, I don't know if they wanted out of the show or not, but like, there's that. And then we have more intermingling going on. So before Rufus and Lily got married, Lily was married to Chuck's dad, Bart Bass, okay? We have a lot of intermingling love connections going on. And then they get back together, but I'm not going to share what happens after that. But like, there's some intermingling going on. Too much. You can find someone else, but I guess they had to make the story dramatic. And let me tell you, it was dramatic. Like, my favorite season of this was season 2. I feel like there was so much going on. You had all of the characters going on. So we had a lot of different side characters. We had Jenny, Eric, Vanessa, who is Dan's like friend that is in love with him. We have Bart Bass, Rufus, just like everyone kind of coming in together and all this stuff. So there's just a lot of drama going on, and then Gossip Girl's like spilling all this tea. So essentially, if you didn't know how Gossip Girl works, the premise of Gossip Girl itself is that it's an online blog that text people different information about like the it people, the Upper East Siders, if you will. And so anyone can put stuff in, and Gossip Girl put it out, and you can send locations of people like, hey, this person was spotted here, this person was spotted here, like recordings of different things, so that just keeps happening. But ultimately it is just targeting those 5 people, which is Serena, Nate, Blair, Chuck, and Dan. It's just targeting them. So they just keep getting buzzes about everything because they're the it people of the Upper East Side. And it kind of ruins their life, but you kind of see that they turn against each other in the whole thing. So they're really not best friends, but they say they're friends. Yeah. But there is a lot of drama in season 2, which I really do like. It was just like a lot of twists and turns and like really cool things, and you kind of really get your favorite characters going in that season. The first season they're in high school, second season they are in high school going into college and kind of figuring out what college they want to go to, and third season they're in college. Fourth, fifth, and sixth season, I'm not sure if they're in college or not. They're just kind of, they have random jobs everywhere, like, I don't know. It's cool stuff. Serena's dating someone, they break up, she gets really mad at that person because it's all their fault that they broke up, or she backstabs someone else because it's all their fault, but in all honesty it's her fault that all that happens. So I do have a couple questions for the people of Gossip Girl, or maybe just like people in general, is that they just have so many characters in the show and then they all disappear. Like, where are they going? Why are they disappearing? Like, I want to know more about these people. They just disappeared. And I really didn't, I mean, it was focused on Serena a lot, and I get it, she's the main character, but I feel like it would have been a lot better and more cutesy if it was focused on Blair and Chuck. Like, come on. Blair and Chuck, they're my favorite. And like, everyone has daddy issues, or seems to have daddy issues. Like, all of the main characters have daddy issues. And like, I get it, but like, come on, can someone else not have daddy issues and be normal? Anyways, that's my overview of Gossip Girl. Took me 2.5 years to watch it. And if you're like wanting to watch Gossip Girl, I'm trying not to spoil it for you and trying to make you interested in the show. It's really good, actually. And I would highly recommend the show. Truly.